Hello, my name is Gelpi Perineal Retractor. We'd like to thank Medline for providing us with the Koenig and First instruments used in this video series. Okay, so as I mentioned, today's model and instrument is that Gelpi Perineal Retractor. What should stand out to you in looking at Gelpi retractors are these gnarly looking tips on the end, curved, and importantly, even though this is a sharp version, they do come in sharp and dull. Alright, so don't get in the misconception of all Gelpis are sharp, because they're not. All Gelpis do have this kind of standard curved arm here with that sharp curve toward the end pointing outward, right? So that's a good signal that you're going to be dealing with and looking at a Gelpi. And in this case, this is the sharp version of the Gelpi. In inspecting your Gelpi retractors, anytime you see one of these ratchet systems there at the bottom, that's telling you this is a self-retaining retractor. And what that means is that it is able to open and maintain the retraction by itself. So you don't need a person to stand there and hold this device open. It has that ratcheting system here that will do so. However, in inspecting these devices and assembling them, that's why it's critically important to test that ratchet device. Now, as you see, when I push down that lever, it's pushing this plate up in the back. That's the plate there to get a better view of that. That plate is what causes the tension on the lever to shut and hold that ratchet open. You can see as you manually squeeze the lever, what happens there, and it moves up the teeth. So in inspecting, you're going to want to check to make sure that this plate is in position, that the screw is tight. However, don't manually tighten that screw. That's not your job. That is a job for a certified repair technician. Ensure the plate's there, that it's not cracked. Ensure that there is tension as you push that lever down on the ring handles. And ensure that the ratcheting system itself in this bar here with all the teeth is not cracked, and that the teeth are all still in place. Because again, if there are missing teeth, if there's some kind of damage to this bar, it's not going to hold that retraction the way that it should. And oftentimes what you'll see, if there's maybe quality of water issues or residual debris, is this lever will stay open and it won't retract the way that it should all by itself. Okay, so kind of clicking this during the assembly to make sure that it's got proper tension, and testing it out at some various levels to make sure that it's holding appropriately. That's the best way to inspect these devices. Anytime you have a hinged instrument, you're going to want to be checking that hinged area to make sure there's no debris, but also to make sure that there's no cracking or chipping that could potentially damage the instrument in transport or during use. And then finally, your tips. Even though these are pretty rugged instruments, these tips can get bent or damaged. And be careful, just like with our towel clamps that we covered on a previous video, these can injure you very easily in the assembly stage or in the decontamination stage. So just be careful and wary of any instrument tray that could potentially have a sharp Gelpi included. Okay. And then finally, in the assembly stage of this, we do see some folks putting the tip protectors on these to keep them safe during transport. And we also see folks putting them in the paper sterilization bags or just down in the bottom of a tray. All right. That is the self-retaining Gelpi Perineal Retractor. And they do come in different lengths. This is a small version that you see in front of us here. At the 3-inch arm length and the 4 1/4 inch complete from the ring handle to the tip, but they get all the way up to 7.5 inches sometimes. So you're talking about a pretty big device. Okay, that's all that we've got today for the Gelpi Retractor. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, keep fighting dirty.